Yo, how is it going, everyone? My name is Jack, and today we have some extra special, hot, nasty breaking news. Riot confirms that running accuracy is changing next week, as well as finally detail what in the heck changed with the rank system in the last patch. It's all killer, and well, some minor filler, so you don't want to miss out on this video. But just before we get knee deep into that rabbit hole, we of course have our question of the day. What is your main weapon in episode 2? Are you pro Vandal, pro Phantom, maybe sprinkle a touch of Wardell and bust out an Operator now and then? At least currently, things are pretty balanced in terms of the viability of both the main rifles, and to me at least, the Operator isn't nearly as impressive as it's been in the past, so I personally enjoyed using all three. I tend to lean Vandal as a rule because of the CS in my blood, but I can't lie that it's fun to be mega aggressive with the Phantom and wreck face. Let me know what tool of destruction you are wielding in the comments down below, as well as the preferred skin if you're feeling saucy. Just so you know, the Soccer Vandal is the best Vandal, and it's not up for debate. Don't even question me on this. Alright, getting stuck right into the news, released today while I was absorbing my coffee deep into my soul, was a brand new Ask Valorant article. Typically a pretty tame affair, we cover these from time to time when some juicy news gets dropped, and we definitely got that today. Riot seemed to come into this on a mission to build some hype for next week's patch, as well as give a frankly very in-depth explanation of how they changed ranked in the previous patch. Looking at our first question, we have the biggest thought on most players' mind. Ayo Riot, you mentioned you were working on fixing that running accuracy, what gives? Or something to that effect, the exact quote's on screen. Speaking of, I seem to, okay, I lost my place in the script. Okay, read quotes, got it. We have some changes planned for patch 2.02 that should help address sentiment on running accuracy with rifles. Keep in mind, we're making sure not to change too many systems at once to ensure that shooting doesn't feel so dramatically different that you have to relearn habits. As always, we'll keep an eye on the change and we'll continue to adjust as necessary. Now, some key things to take away right off the rip. This change targets rifles mainly, no SMGs or pistols or shotguns. Secondly, Riot are rightly setting expectations here that this isn't going to be like a complete massive overhaul of the shooting systems. This will likely be a minor adjustment to the point at which accuracy is starting to come to perfect when transitioning from moving to a standstill. So what do I mean in a practical sense? Well, currently if you move and shoot, obviously it's not accurate. However, if you do some simple counter strafing, you can see that you can be very accurate for a surprisingly large window in that transitional movement between switching directions. Contrast this to CSGO, for example, and the window for accuracy during a counter strafe is very small. Basically right in the moment where you are no longer moving, and that's it. The reason that you often feel like you are being killed while someone is full running in Valorant is because people are smart enough to start shooting before they come to a full stop for a relatively minor penalty, or even simply tapping the walk key as a bypass for counter strafing to also achieve higher accuracy. So as far as what I think Riot will change, I think Riot will tighten up this window and make it much more random to get those accurate shots before you come to a complete standstill. Overall, I think it's good. Riot are targeting this because frankly, in a game as tactical and in-depth as Valorant, it just feels less fun when it feels like you were Peeker's advantage into the Netherrealm by Arena breaking the sound barrier around a corner. I do though have to say that this may exacerbate the issue of SMGs also just W keying for kills. But that's a totally different monster. SMGs have the problem of being too accurate while just running without ever stopping, and I think should be addressed in a patch down the line. With these important changes coming next week, are you guys happy to see running accuracy addressed? Did you like the current system of shooting? Let us know in the comments down below. And while the W key meta may be coming to an end, that also means you could be the first person in your lobbies to master the new shooting mechanics. Head to SkillCapped.com today to learn from the best tips, tricks, and guides to be the best player you can be. Get the rank you've always wanted at the link down below. Getting into the other half of this Ask Valorant article, we of course have to talk about ranked. I mean, come on, what's a news video without some ranked talk, baby? Let's go! So, our question is, at the start of the act, it seems like I can rank up higher and faster with my alternate accounts, whereas I'm stuck in the much lower ranks for longer with my main account. Is the new rank system working as intended? And the answer Riot give here is really complicated to me, so I'm going to read it out verbatim, then break it down afterwards. Quote, "We saw this weird pattern developing soon after launch and made changes to help solve this with patch 2.01. It should actually be optimal now for the highest ranked players to use their main account instead of their alternate accounts, due to the now reduced queue times, and their higher MMR will actually help them earn rank rating faster." We will also be increasing the effectiveness of convergence expected to hit in one of the next patches. This will make it so previous season Immortal Plus players that still have a high MMR will start to earn more ranked rating per win and less per loss than their lower MMR counterparts. Ultimately, they will climb the leaderboard faster and make it so that the most effective way to climb the leaderboard is to have high skill and high MMR. This will affect all ranks, so if you really are hard stuck silver but your MMR says you could be gold or plat, you will get there quicker. Unfortunately, 1 week under the slightly wonky patch 2.0 system was enough time for top players to rally behind the effort to rely on their alternate accounts for quicker rank. When people played on an alt, they may have been finding matches quicker and ranked up faster. Now in the long run, their alt will be at a lower MMR and earn less ranked rating per win than they would have if they were on their main account with the higher MMR. That being said, we know there are a few recent competitive changes around episode and act starts that some of you aren't happy about. We're looking at adjusting how we place you at the start of a new act and how quickly leaderboards become available. We'll also have a more detailed follow-up to share ahead of episode 2, act 2. Okay, so that was a lot, but here's how I best understand it. At the start of episode 2, those with really high MMR had egregious queue times. This was due to the matchmaker not being able to find similar MMR players to put them in the games. So a lot of players and pros resorted to using alt accounts to be able to play ranked in the fastest way possible. The byproduct of that and how the new rank system shipped was those alts ranking up fast and being able to climb the leaderboards compared to their main accounts. Riot have since adjusted this and made it so that high MMR players have better queue times and also do not rank up slower compared to their alternate accounts. To go with this, in a future patch, the background system convergence is being changed. This will mean that if you have a higher MMR than the rank you are in, you will accumulate even more ranked points on a win and lose even less on a loss. This isn't just a change for the highest ranks either, this is a universal change, so as the devs point out, if you are hard stuck silver but have a higher MMR in the gold or plat range, then the system will help elevate you up out of that rank. One thing I definitely take away from this big time is that the hidden MMR is a cumulative stat. It most likely doesn't have a limit, and players like pros who have incredibly high playtime each act will accumulate super high MMR, and therefore at the start of new acts, will be able to climb ranks much faster. I'm glad Riot sort of cleared this up, as we've been questioning what the hell has been happening since episode 2, and this answers a lot of that in my opinion. Also really nice to see that they are looking into where people are placed at the start of a new rank season, one of my chief suggestions, and hopefully we will get a much smoother ranked experience going forward because of all this. And with that out of the way, we have some unfortunate news. A top 10 Radiant player known as Reflect FPS was caught cheating mid-scrim in a match against Dignitas. Let's play out the clip and see what happened.
It could be a garden, I gave it up.
What?
Did my game
Oh,
cheater detect
what?
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 Oh my
Who?
god, Reflect.
Wait, what?
Are you serious?
So yeah, that's pretty yikes. Everyone was definitely caught off guard as the game ended and a cheater detected notification came up. On one hand, it's great that Vanguard did its job, but some players are critical of Vanguard being too slow considering the fact that the player managed to climb high enough using hacks to end up in a top 10 Radiant Scrim before he was banned. Perhaps as a response to this, the Valorant developers released an article giving an update on the anti-cheat situation. In the first section of this article, they gave some insight into the anti-cheat process at the pro level, explaining a bit of what they went through on those last major tournament, First Strike. Most notably, they mentioned how they performed an in-depth review of every participating account in every single region, both before and after First Strike. I think this could be surprising news to some, thinking that in pro games they just kind of let the anti-cheat program Vanguard do its thing on its own, but that's not the case. They're actually manually going through each player in these tournaments. In the next section, they even went over cheaters and ranked. This section didn't give us any kind of new insight, just that they acknowledged that players that were able to cheat impacted players far too often. This can be interpreted as Vanguard not catching them fast enough. They also acknowledged that cheating at the highest ranks is becoming a problem, as well as players queuing with cheaters, and finished off by saying that their biggest priority with episode 2 is to make sure the grind to the top is fair and legitimate. And finally, they went over some of the upcoming anti-cheat solutions. First is a 90-day penalty for players who queue with cheaters to boost their rank. They mentioned that this is because often cheaters will financially support purchasing cheats by offering boosting services, and so this is a way to crack down on that. This is a very common problem in other games. I see it most often in Destiny 2 and CSGO as well, so thankfully Riot are taking steps to deal with this. They're also researching the ability to recalibrate rank for those affected by cheaters. What this means is that if you lost a game to a cheater, then you could get some rank back for that lost game once the cheater is banned. And finally, what they refer to as a metagame systems update. This is mainly them reducing the speed at which players can reach Radiant. They mention that this will not only increase the prestige and value of reaching the highest ranks, but then it also prevents cheaters from getting a new account and ranking up super fast to Radiant and ruin the matches there before the anti-cheat catches up to them. So definitely a lot coming in the future, and even though we have seen a rise in cheating, it's great to see Riot acknowledge it and let us know that it's one of their top priorities and that we should expect improvements in the upcoming patches. You'll love to see it. And moving from some of those darker news stories into the lighter side of things, we've been seeing some insane new tech from the community where players are discovering how to open the teleporter doors on Bind from the outside in more creative ways. A few days ago, Reddit user All Luck No Skill posted a video showing a specific lineup where you could actually open the teleporter door from the outside with a Sova recon bolt. At first, this may seem not exactly the most useful, but sneaking a defender into that teleporter pretty much completely denies the attackers from taking it, as they'd be running into certain death. However, it doesn't stop there. Today, Reddit user Bougie94 looked to one-up him by showing a way to open the teleporter doors from the outside with Raze. By aiming at this specific corner of the teleporter door outside hookah and releasing your boom bot, you can open the doors from the outside. For the shower's teleporter, it's even stranger, aiming at the middle portion here and then jumping and releasing the boom bot. The trick for opening doors on the shower's teleporter seems especially strong since the attackers will be on the other side of the map and not even be able to hear that you did this trick. Obviously, it has to be mentioned these do seem like bugs or exploits, and so be cautious about using them in ranked games. But what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to be patched out, or will Riot leave them in? Let us know in the comment section below. However, that's not the only bug on this patch. For you Your mains out there, if you don't already know, there's a current bug where if you jump at a height that you normally take damage from and activate your teleport, then you'll take that fall damage once you arrive at your destination. Don't worry though, Riot have acknowledged that they're aware of this bug, so hopefully it'll be patched out by next week, but in the meantime, please be careful, you don't want to lose those kneecaps. Also, hopefully Riot get around to fixing the old, teleporting randomly into the Black Abyss thing. That might be a priority as well. Riot, please. And if you've been following any of our recent news videos, you know that the Valorant Champions Tour has started, and so we're starting to see the best teams in the world duke it out. And one clip that's been making the rounds is Hiko from 100 Thieves on Sova. 100 Thieves are in a post-plant scenario and the defenders are looking to retake, but Hiko lands a sick timing on the shock darts to not only take 2 of them down instantly, but guarantee the match win. The old man just keeps getting the clutches, dude. He can't be stopped. Someone needs to figure out what the hell is going on because Hiko doesn't seem to age. Honestly, it has to be said though, Sova is insanely strong on Ascent. I feel like if there's a one agent that can influence the outcome of a game the most on that map, it has to be Sova. Those paper-thin walls combined with his recon dart and owl drone make for insane easy kills with wallbangs, and as you just saw, his shock dart lineups are just as powerful. And finally, as a heads up, the Prism 2 bundle is rotating out of the shop today, so make sure to grab it before it's too late. We know what the next bundle will be though from leaks earlier this week. It will be the Horizon Skin Bundle. This will contain a Vandal, Spectre, Bucky, Bulldog, and Frenzy, and it has a similar look to the Nebula skin line, but much lighter with a pink undertone. Those new skins certainly look cool, but if you want to look even cooler while you use them, head to SkillCapped.com today and master the weapons in Valorant. Learn how to frag like the pros at the link down below. Whoo boy, that was a beefy news video. How do you guys feel about these upcoming changes? Are you excited to see Run and Gun go, or do you think this isn't enough to fix the problem? Let us know in the comments down below. And I'll be in there swimming around as well, so look out for me in the replies. While you are down there, make sure to like the video as well and subscribe for more news and guides just like this one, with one goal in mind, helping you become a better player. We here at SkillCapped would like to thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.